Coming up on Cardinals Insider,
I appreciated this opportunity.
get to know reliever Giovanni Gallegos. Plus,
I want to use a glove every day until I feel like it's right where I want it.
we're talking tools of the trade. And later,
We had a lot of weapons from both sides of the plate.
the 2004 Cardinals return to Busch. Hello, and welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. Giovanni Gallegos came over from the Yankees last summer, and this year he's been a solid option out of the bullpen. Our Brett McMillan has a profile of the Cards' right-handed hurler.
Giovanni Gallegos has been filthy for the Cardinals in 2019.
The pitch, swing and a miss, got him. 1-2-3 inning.
Entering August, his 2.13 ERA led all Cardinals pitchers, and he's piling up the strikeouts with a fastball and slider that keep missing bats.
The pitch by Gallegos. Swing and a miss. Harper strikes out.
His 72 Ks on August 1st were the most of any Cardinals reliever. All this, and baseball wasn't even his first love as a kid growing up in Mexico.
So when I was a kid, I played the soccer ball in the high school, but I like to play baseball. It's better. It's my favorite sport.
Mexican players make up just 2% of big leaguers, so representing his country means a lot to the reliever.
It's good for me because it doesn't have too much Mexicans in the big league, so I appreciated this opportunity. I'm here to represent my country, and I'm proud for them.
There's one other thing Gallegos has become accustomed to representing, and that's baseball tradition. Traded over from New York last season, so he's now pitched for the two winningest franchises in baseball history, the Yankees in the American League and the Cardinals in the National League.
It's funny because I traded to another great baseball team, and it's a good competition. There's a good guys too, and keep working. This is my job, and to make a good job on the team. That's it.
This season, he's representing his country and his team proudly, throwing up zeros
And a strikeout for Giovanni Gallegos.
and putting out fires whenever he's handed the ball. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Until November, the Cardinal Museum is featuring a special exhibit on the history of baseball equipment. The tools of the game have come a long way over the years. Here's a look at what some of the current players use to compete on a nightly basis.
I like to keep my gloves pretty stiff. I don't like them to get too loose. I like a nice pocket. I've got one of those glove mallets, I like to kind of hammer that pocket in there and just use it. I want to use a glove every day until I feel like it's right where I want it, and then I'll just use it for the games. So then, it's right where I want it, so I don't want to use it every day.
Back to Michaelis, could be two. Out there, the turn, double play.
What I do, I play catch every day. I hit the glove with the ball, I hit the ball with the bat. I put some lotion on it. That's what I do probably for a month and a half before the season starts.
There's kind of a little debate between using high tops or low tops, or maybe some players don't even really think about it, but I used high tops in college, and I don't know, I just felt like really bound, and I felt like my ankles were kind of locked up. So I switched to low tops. That kind of opened it up a little bit, more flexibility, allowing myself to kind of readjust in the outfield better, and I didn't feel as locked up.
I use a Marucci bat, that's my model. It's a 33.5 inch in length and 31.5 in weight ounces. And the model is it's a DW5, which is a David Wright model. And pretty similar to it's a pretty evenly balanced bat that is meant for guys that can handle the bat well and kind of have a typical line drive swing. I think 2015 was the first year I did it. You know, it was just a trend going on where you're seeing guys kind of getting hit in the face, and you know, it kind of seemed like it was happening every week. So, you know, I kind of took it upon myself. I was like, you know, I don't want to be one of those guys who gets hit in the face. You know, I'd rather take the steps right now, you know, be able to protect myself and prolong my career.
It is carbon fiber insert, and it's pretty hard plastic on the outside, and on the inside it's this nice soft rubber with some padding to it, so it rests softly against my head, and it's actually shaped pretty well to fit against your skull. So you get it and you slide it in between the hat and the liner in the hat, and there's also a clip if you want the extra support, but you don't really need it because your hat fits pretty snug to your head and it holds it in there well and doesn't move.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
We did have a chance to score every inning.
They're one of the best teams in Cards history, and they returned for a visit. Also coming up,
I just want to share with you guys a little bit about what I did growing up when I was about your age to help myself become the best athlete I could possibly be.
Learning about healthy choices from Tommy Edman. Stay with us. The 2004 Cardinals won 105 games on the way to the National League pennant. That's tied for the second most single-season victories in franchise history. The 04 Cards were in town for a reunion recently and reflected on what it was like to be a part of one of the best teams in St. Louis history.
That team was I think probably the best team we had while I was here. Just the whole makeup of the team. You know, when you can add a guy like Larry Walker at the trade deadline to an already formidable lineup with the pitching we had, and just with Tony, and he had a great coaching staff. It was just a unique time, I think, in Cardinal history. 04 we had the MV3s, but we also had Renteria, we had Reggie Sanders, you know, we had Tony Womack. I mean, and then we had Larry Walker at the end. I mean, we did have a chance to score every inning because of the depth of the lineup.
Tony Womack swinging a shot deep to right. Get up, baby. Get up, get up, get up, get up. It is off of the wall. Cardinals lead 2-1. Womack's going to go for third.
We were a really diverse offense. There wasn't really one way that a pitcher could go out there and repeat what he's doing and get every one of us out in the lineup. We had a lot of weapons from both sides of the plate and a lot of, like you said, diversity as hitters.
Matt Morris, his third consecutive opening day start.
I felt, and I think we all felt like in spring training, we were a real solid team. I think everybody has a shot when they're in spring training, but us in particular have built this team and this level that we were at. And we felt that way, but we were focused. You know, you can't. I think we were probably the team to beat, and sometimes it's harder when you're the team to beat.
Winning 105 games, we did a lot of things right, but we were able to overcome a lot of things as well. And so in that, you know, when you think about from a unity perspective, from a bond perspective, from a family perspective, from a relentless perspective, from a character perspective, all those things that we were able to culminate together, I think afforded us those 105 games.
The pitch. Swing, a long one! We are going to game number 7, a game-winning home run!
I just went blank. I really did. I don't remember hearing anything. Ran around and jumped on the plate and celebration. Really cool thing, but I think when you're a player at this level, you expect that. I was very fortunate to be in the situation.
Was that when Jimmy made that catch? I do remember that. That's about what I remember, but it was a good win.
Straight ahead,
Mort Cooper was a fantastic pitcher for the Cardinals throughout the 1940s.
learning about one of the newest Cardinals Hall of Famers, Mort Cooper. Plus,
this is a statue of Adam Wainwright, who, believe it or not, is going to go to China.
statues bringing two worlds together. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni. Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals radio archives. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcast or at cardinals.com/podcast. The Professional Baseball Athletic Trainers Society wants to teach kids how to make healthy and active lifestyle choices. They brought the cause to St. Louis this summer with the Play campaign, and Tommy Edman stopped by the event.
want to share with you guys a little bit about what I did growing up when I was about your age to help myself become the best athlete I could possibly be without the use of steroids or anything like that.
The Professional Baseball Athletic Trainers Society teamed up with the Taylor Hooten Foundation and Major League Baseball charities to give kids a chance to participate in the Play campaign. Play is a nationwide campaign centered around teaching children about living a healthy and active lifestyle. The event also tackles obstacles athletes may have to face and helps kids learn to make the right decisions moving down the road.
People ask what do they walk away with. I think it's two things. I think number one, they are just having fun. I think that's what hits them first. The minute they walk onto a major league field, they start running the bases and meet a player. Hopefully, by them having fun, they're a little bit more open to the fact that, hey, there's a couple of really crucial key points that we want you guys walking away with. And so I think both sides of those coins play really well together.
They even got a chance to meet third baseman Tommy Edman.
Hey guys, how's it going? First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out today. I had a really good time hanging out with you guys in the cage. Saw some good swings and maybe some future Cardinals in the future.
Trying to get kids off the couch, off the phones, off the device, running around, being active. And we play a very small educational component to this. You know, while they're learning how to do things the right way, we're trying to teach them how not to do it, right? So hopefully the two messages come together where at the end of the day they can leave here with a couple more tools on how to achieve their goals the right way.
For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Kramer Robertson joined the Cardinals organization as a fourth-round draft pick in 2017. The LSU product reached AAA Memphis this year. We check in with him as part of the Bear Farm Report.
It's a little bit of an adjustment. I started this year in AA and was drafted in 2017, so fortunate to move pretty quickly. And also fortunate to get to play with so many guys on this team who have big league experience and can kind of tell me what it's like up there and how I need to prepare myself now to be ready for an opportunity when I get up there. I think just consistency. I think that's the biggest difference from what I've heard from this level to the big leagues is guys do it up there on a nightly basis. I just want to continue to be the same player night in and night out when I take the field, and I'm going to work every day to do that. Having to compete is a chess match every night you go up there. The control of their pitches is so much better. They'll throw anything at any count, and it's just a little bit more crisp up here. As I'm sure it is a little more crisp in the big leagues compared to here. So every level's been an adjustment, but everywhere we go in the minor leagues at every level there's Cardinals fans, so it just tells you how big of a fan base it is and how much Cardinal baseball means to them. So it's really neat. Even when we go to Oklahoma City or in AA, we'd go to Frisco, wherever, there are Cardinals fans cheering for you, and I think that's pretty special, and not many organizations can say that. The Cardinals are a great organization, the Redbirds is great, so I've really enjoyed my time in Memphis, and hopefully won't be here too long, so I enjoy it too much, but I've definitely enjoyed my time at all the affiliates that I've been at so far in the Cardinals organization.
It's time for this week's trivia question. Mort Cooper will be inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame later this month as the Red Ribbon Committee's Veterans Pick. Cooper is a native Missourian. In which western Missouri town was he born? Was it Chillicothe, Higginsville, Knob Noster, or Atherton? The answer when we return. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. We ask where 2019 Cardinal Hall of Fame inductee Mort Cooper was born. The answer is Atherton, Missouri. Atherton sits about 40 miles east of Kansas City. While Cooper's life may have begun on the other side of the state, he rose to baseball greatness, winning 105 games in 8 seasons with the Redbirds.
Mort Cooper was a fantastic pitcher for the Cardinals throughout the 1940s, but particularly in 1942, he really came of age, so to speak. He was a tall, burly right-handed pitcher, really had a dominating presence from the mound. In 1942, he led the way as the ace of the Cardinals staff. Of course, in 1942, the Cardinals won 106 games. It was the all-time winningest season in Cardinals history. Cooper had over 20 wins, which led the National League. He also led the league in shutouts and an ERA. He would win more than 20 games again in 1943 and do the same in 1944. Cooper is one of only 3 pitchers to have won 20 games 3 consecutive years in a row in Cardinals history.
But down on the field, Mort Cooper, the Cardinals' ace.
A 22-game winner this season is warming up.
The Cardinals would have 3 consecutive years of 100-win seasons and 3 consecutive years of World Series appearances. The team has never had a 3-year stretch of dominance and success like that ever in franchise history. In that World Series in 1944, Cooper had a 1.13 ERA and really led his team. It was his defining moment as a Cardinals pitcher. Mort Cooper did so much in such a short time here in St. Louis, it's hard to really measure him against some of the other great pitchers in Cardinals history. And as a result, he really doesn't get the credit that he's deserved for so many years. But he's one of the few pitchers, really, I mean, it's an incredibly short list, that have won the National League's Most Valuable Player Award as a pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's remarkable what he's done here.
Coming up next.
As a human being, Adam Wainwright is a great representative. So we're happy to have him go to China for us.
Uniting cultures with the game. Sculptor Harry Weber is responsible for the statues of St. Louis baseball greats at 8th and Clark outside Busch Stadium. Now he's working on a new pair of statues for a special project. Here's more on what he's been making.
This is a statue of Adam Wainwright, who, believe it or not, is going to go to China. Tim Herman was St. Louis and founded Collins Herman Construction Company. He moved to China, found out that Nanjing, China was the sister city of St. Louis, and the 40th anniversary of that sister cityhood was coming up in 2019. They were going to give us a present of Ming chairs for the Botanical Garden, and they wanted in return something typically St. Louis.
1979 was the year that Chinese-American diplomatic relations were first established after the Communist Revolution there in '49. So we thought long and hard about what represents America, what represents St. Louis, and it kept redounding to baseball. Tim had the idea of the statues, we found Harry Weber, and the rest is history.
We came up with having the pitcher in China, the batter in St. Louis, and they would be in poses that would suggest they're only separated by 60 feet, when in fact they're separated by 7,200 miles. Adam Wainwright will be delivering the pitch from Nanjing, China, and a Chinese baseball player will be somewhere in or around the stadium about to hit it. Start to finish, about a year. The actual sculpting takes about 1/3 of the time. Then it's a very, very labor-intensive process to take it from original art and clay to a statue that finally gets installed.
We take it from the clay, we make a mold. It's a direct negative image of the face. Then what's cast inside is art wax. The foundry sends us back the exact same copy of this cast in bronze. So imagine that and 20 other pieces weld together, and then you essentially just paint it. We kind of coat it in a clear coat of wax as well to give it kind of a little shine. And then it's just about done.
Adam Wainwright's follow-through is one of the most balletic moves I've ever seen. It's a beautiful, beautiful stance. So that's primarily why I picked Wainwright. And also, as a human being, Adam Wainwright is a great representative. So we're happy to have him go to China for us.
The first connection between St. Louis and China, permanently established in both cities, I think is a long-lasting symbol for our hopeful collaboration in the future.
And when we return,
and folks, we've got a ball game.
Stay with us. This episode is coming to a close, but we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Plus, our YouTube page houses all of our content, including individual stories and past episodes. Baseball can change night to night. Sometimes pitchers rule the game, and other times offense clubs a team to victory. That's what happened in Cincinnati on July 19th. The Reds led 6-0 entering the sixth when the Cardinals exploded for 10 runs. We leave you with a look back at that surge, and we'll see you next week.
Goldschmidt with a high fly ball out to left field, backing up Urban. Cardinals get on the board. That's Bader scoring, and it's now 7-1. O'Neill, a base hit into left. He makes it a 7-2 Cincinnati lead. And Wong hits a fly ball out to Puig in right center. Long way to go there. Makes the catch, and the throw allows the runner from first, Munoz, to tag up from first to second. First pitch to Paul. He rips it fair inside the third base line, and definitely 2 runs will score. DeYoung to second base, and folks, we've got a ball game. Kisner hits it out to right center, and it is off the top of the wall. Andrew to second base, he's safe, and it's 7-6. Edman, chopper to Votto, he boots it. Kisner being waved in to the plate. We're tied. 2 outs, a 3-2 pitch. Martinez with the drive, left center. It is gone for the second consecutive night. A back-breaking bomb. Last night, the grand slam. This one, 3-run shot. Martinez, and that's 10. Count them up. 10 runs in the inning. Wow!